Well, the Falcons 2021 season is over. What are y'all's takeaways? Well, here's my first takeaway. I said this last year, I said it the year before, and I will say it once more. Matt Ryan is not the problem. My first takeaway that I said last year and the years before, and I will say once more, is Matt Ryan is most definitely the problem, and he needs to go. Oh, look, we have a fake fan here being a hater of Matt Ryan, and he doesn't watch football. Oh, are you kidding? He's watched. He has a noodle arm, and you obviously are just a. And you obviously don't know that Matt Ryan is Hall of Famer. You don't realize that. You need to watch the games because I know my facts. NFL history, and you need to watch the games. What's going on, Falcons fans? Logan here. Welcome back to Rise Up Rundown, and if you're new here, welcome. In this video, we're going to go over some takeaways that I saw from the 2021 Atlanta Falcons season, and there weren't a lot. I feel like this season was pretty straightforward. It went about the way we all saw it coming, but there are still some important things to talk about in this video, and we're just going to cut to the chase here and go over the first takeaway that I saw from the 2021 Falcons season, and that is that I believe in Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot. I really, really do. I think that they have a really bright future ahead of us for the Falcons. With Arthur Smith, he's bringing in a culture. He's making these players disciplined and aware of their surroundings, I guess, because with Dan Quinn's defense and the offense at times, it looked like they were kind of lost. They didn't know what they were doing. But, you know, for Arthur Smith's team, I know like it doesn't sound like much, but they beat up every team that they were supposed to, like the Jaguars and the Panthers and like you get the idea, the Giants. And you might say, okay, that's not that big of a deal, but let's just face it, the Falcons have actually been pretty bad against bottom tier teams in the last 3 seasons or so. So it's good to see that I think Arthur Smith is kind of like, making these players aware of what they need to do every single week, if that makes any sense. And his offensive play calling, it wasn't the best in year one, but, it's year one. He's going to have some hiccups, but it was pretty good for the most part. Like, he got some players going. And then Terry Fontenot made some pretty good signings and draft picks, like Kyle Pitts, obviously. Cordarrelle Patterson, breakout player of the year. I'm definitely okay with keeping him for a very long time. And then some other players that he drafted and picked up, like Lee Smith actually helped out more than we thought. And Richie Grant and Drew Dahlman, they progressed to be a better player as the season went on. So I believe in them, man. Like, I really do. And it was only year one, so we have much more to experience with those two guys, and I'm excited. The second thing is offense does need a little more help than I thought. I will admit that. Now, it does start with the offensive line. The offensive line is pretty bad. I can't lie. I'm not going to spend like hours upon hours talking about that because we kind of get it. Now, Chris Lindstrom was amazing, and Jake Matthews was solid per usual, but, like the other players, Drew Dahlman, he got better as the season went on, but I don't know, he still needs a little more experience. But Matt Hennessy, unfortunately, I don't know if I believe in him anymore. And then Caleb McGarry, it's probably time for him to go. And my goodness, Jalen Mayfield, the biggest meme of the year. I hope he gets things together, but that offensive line needs a lot of help. The receivers actually need a lot of help. I still don't know if I want to comment on Calvin Ridley too much here, but there's been rumors that he wants to leave Atlanta. If it's true, we definitely need receiver help. If it's not true, we still need receiver help, but at least we have a wide receiver number one. But Russell Gage, he definitely improved as the season went on, and I'm maybe okay with keeping him as wide receiver number 3, but not as number 2 or number 1, that is for sure. We got to get another receiver. And then Olamide Zaccheaus, fine, but, you could do a little better. Frank Darby, are you really expecting anything from him? Probably not. So, I don't know. We definitely could use some help at receiver. And then at tight end, you got Kyle Pitts, and Hayden Hurst can do some things, but I don't really expect Hayden Hurst to stay for the long run. And I think Lee Smith is even retiring, I think. I don't know. But, yeah, we need a lot of receiver help. And then the running backs, Mike Davis was unfortunately just not really cutting it this year, and I don't really see how he's going to stay for much longer. I'm okay with keeping Cordarrelle Patterson, but Quadre Allison, he had a much better year than he did in years past, and he got more opportunities than he did in years past, but you need a better running back. And then I got to be careful with this last one, because whenever you say something bad about Matt Ryan, it gets into everyone's feelings. But say what you will, I don't think this was a very good season for Matt Ryan. And yes, I know he didn't have a lot of help around him, but at the same time, I think you're also walking away thinking he could have been a little better. But now, is it to the point where you need to get a new quarterback? No, and I don't even think Matt Ryan's going to leave. I'm not saying he's going to get traded or anything. He's going to stay. All I'm saying is he could have been a little better. That's all I'm saying. The third takeaway is the defense has players, but it's still a very long road to make this a good defense. Now, again, there are some players. Foye Oluokun, the league leader in tackles, and I think at some point he's going to get at least a small contract extension, right? AJ Terrell, the biggest snub from the Pro Bowl. Grady Jarrett. There's some players to work with, but then there are some players to where it's like, why are we keeping them? Deion Jones, it is definitely time for him to go. I'm okay with keeping Michael Walker, but he's got to develop pretty soon. Dante Fowler, why is he here? Marlon Davidson, are you really expecting him to turn things around? Like Eric Harris, why is he here? Come on, man. Look at this defense. There's a long way to go, and it looks like they are going to keep Dean Pease, so hopefully he can make something good of this defense with better players that they pick up in the offseason and the draft. Thankfully, the draft that we have is filled with great defensive players, but we'll get to that in just a second. But this defense has a long way to go. The next takeaway is I think there's a real culture going on here, and I know I kind of already talked about that when I was talking about Arthur Smith and all, but I'm going to talk about it again because I think this culture is legit. When the players do something great, if they score a touchdown or make a good play, you actually see them congratulating each other, and when things go wrong, it seems like they uplift each other and they stay disciplined. And I mentioned that as a separate takeaway because in years past, I think everyone was aware of it. The Falcons, I feel like they didn't have a culture. It feels like every player wanted out, like Julio Jones wanted out. I don't know if this is true or not, but Calvin Ridley, I guess, wants out. But then the newer guys that are with the newer coach and the newer GM, it looks like they're trying to just build whatever they can there. And I really respect that. So I think this culture is really legit. And then the last takeaway here, it's not really a takeaway, but I just wanted to mention it. We have pick number 8 in the draft in the first round, and we have a big chance of getting this awesome defensive player. Like I said, we need a lot of freaking help on the defense. And also, like I said, the draft is filled with a lot of great defensive players. There's a lot of people speculating that we're going to get a corner and that we're going to get a pass rusher, whatever it may be. Listen, we need help everywhere, so we have a good chance to fix that coming up. But those are my takeaways. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Other than that, I will see you guys with a video this Tuesday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. Love and appreciate you all for the support, and as always, rise up.